Hi, this is Usha. Welcome to Rathod Science classes. Today in this lecture, we are going to see current affairs of 24th October 2021. In this lecture, we are going to discuss 10 topics which are very much relevant to UPSC. So let's get started with our discussion and let us see brief introduction of topics that we are going to discuss in this lecture. So first topic is about gap between first second doses of COVID-19 vaccination. So what happened, as we all know, in India we have two vaccine candidates. First one is Covishield. Second one, it is our Covaxin. But most of the people, they got this Covishield rather than this Covaxin, right? So what happened? So this vaccine candidate should be given in 2 doses. So after taking 1 dose, so after certain time period, we are taking this second dose. So this article mainly says that if you are comparing with time gap between these 2 doses across the different countries in the world, so in India we are having a widest gap. So this is a thing which mainly said in this topic, and this will be important from GS2 under health. Next topic, it is India made spray linked to rare illness in US. So what happened? One India made spray. It is a normally room freshener. So in that room freshener, which mainly contaminated with bacteria. So because of that bacteria, that led to rare illness in US. So this is important from our health point of view, and even from science and technology we can add this topic. And next topic is about Russia-China hold first joint patrol in Western Pacific Ocean. So this article mainly talking about joint patrol by this Russia and as well as China in Western Pacific Ocean region. So this will be important from our international relations, which mainly comes under our GS paper 2. And next topic is about Riyadh targets zero emissions by 2060. So yesterday we studied about this net zero, right? So here now Saudi Arabia came up with this target of this net zero or zero emissions by 2060. So this is important from our environment and ecology, which comes under GS paper 3. And next topic is about impact of asteroids and comets. So you might have studied about this asteroids, comets in your geography and even science and technology. So now let us try to understand what is the impact of this asteroids and as well as comets. So this will be important from our science and technology point of view. And next topic is about warming lakes. So this article says that there is increased rate of warming of lakes that is seen. So this is again important from science and technology point of view. And even we can add this topic under environment and ecology, which comes under GS paper 3. And next topic is about the ape trail. So it is talking about the behavior of apes. Okay, so this is one interesting topic I can say. And this topic is important from our science and technology, which mainly comes under GS paper 3. And next topic is about guide to hot Jupiter. So this article mainly talking about this Jupiter. So we are going to understand that in very detail. So this will be again important from our science and technology. Here one important thing that you need to do is you have to refer some facts regarding this Jupiter. You might have studied about this Jupiter in your geography basics, right? And next one, it is about hybrid immunity. So what is this hybrid immunity means? So if you are getting any infection, you will be getting natural immunity. So what is this natural immunity? So you might have forgot about this natural immunity if I am not wrong, right? So whenever any disease causing antigen which enter into our body, our immune system will be responding. So our immune system will releases antibodies. So this is called as our natural immune system. And I am saying here it is hybrid immunity. Hybrid immunity, it is combination of our natural immunity along with immunity which we acquire from 1 dose of vaccination. I hope you understand what is hybrid immunity now. And next one is booster dose. So what is this booster dose? After taking 2 doses of vaccination for this COVID-19, we are giving extra 1 dose. Extra 1 dose. It is called as booster dose. So already we discussed about this booster dose number of times. So now let us try to see in detail some important and different points that we had not discussed till now. So now let us try to see first topic. Title says gap between first, second doses is the starkest in India. So here this article says that gap between first and second doses, it is the starkest in India. So now let us try to discuss this topic. So if you see this image, then you can easily understand. In China, the gap it is very low. In South Korea, it is like this. In US, it is like this. But if you see the most less space or less gap it is given between first dose and second dose, it is seen in Russia here. But if you see here India is having a widest gap. So now let us try to understand this topic. So first let us see context why it is in India. So if you are talking about statistics regarding vaccination in India, which delivered about 1 billion vaccine doses. So with this delivery of 1 billion vaccine doses, India stands second position throughout the world. India stands second highest dispenser of this COVID-19 vaccination globally. But if you see the gap between people who got this first dose and the second dose, which is very much widest. So it is one important thing. So how can we relate this article? So if you go back to 4 or 5 months back, we studied a number of articles regarding what should be the gap between first dose and second dose. And we studied there so whenever the gap is increasing, then efficiency is increasing. So that thing we can connect to this article now. So in this way, current affairs, it is not a single thing. We need to integrate them day by day. So now let us try to see some details. So details mainly says that according to Bloomberg Tracker mapping vaccination trends globally, according to this Bloomberg Tracker mapping vaccination trends globally, about 82% of China's population which has got at least one dose, and 76% they got 2 doses, especially that is in China. So ratio between first dose people and second dose here, it is 1.1. If you say in case of USA also, ratio it is 1.15. So 66.2% of people they get at least one dose. Out of this 57.3% people they got full dose, that is 2 doses. And if you see even in European Union, it is about 1.04%. That means here 69% of people they got at least one dose and 66% of people they got 2 doses. So your gap is less. If you see in case of India, in India about this gap it is 2.4 double. About 51% of people they got one dose and only 21.9% of people they got the second dose. So here ratio is 2.4, it is very large. So what might be the key reason? The key reason is, according to experts, it mainly says that whenever there is a gap between these 2 doses of Covishield. So why Covishield? Because most of the people, 88% of people, they got this Covishield. So whenever there is increasing of this giving only one vaccine, means there will be increasing of demand. So because of increase in demand, whenever there is no proper supply, so we can delay the second dose and we can give that to number of people for first dose, such that we can increase vaccination coverage. And now let us try to see some facts regarding 2 vaccine candidates that are present in India. So first vaccine candidate, it is our Covishield. So it is a name which is given to an Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine candidate, and technically its name is AZD122, 1222. Next one is CHADOX1 and COVID-19. So these are the technical names of this Covishield. So this Covishield mainly developed by University of Oxford in collaboration with AstraZeneca. If you are talking about constituents and action, so it is mainly based on weakened version of common cold virus, that is our adenovirus. So regarding this adenovirus, there was question in this year 2021 prelims. So adenovirus, it is a common cold causing virus, and here in this vaccine, adenovirus mainly used as a vector. And this vector contains genetic material of this SARS coronavirus to especially spike protein. So where is the spike protein is present? On the nuclear capsule there will be this type of structure. So these are called as spike proteins, and these spike proteins mainly attaches to this ACE2 receptor. So regarding this ACE2 receptor, also one question which appeared in 2021 prelims. It is a very simple question, and I will say that question too. So this ACE2 receptor CD news, which is mainly related to, it is related to this viral diseases. It was a very simple question actually. So the body immune system, it is supposed to recognize this protein as a threat and works on building antibody against it. So what happened whenever we take this vaccine? So here this vector, okay, so this viral vector which mainly contains genetic material of this SARS coronavirus to spike protein. So our immune system, after entering this vaccine into our body, it will mainly recognize this antigen, and our body will start producing antibodies. So in this way we can generate immunity. And next vaccine here is Covaxin. So this Covaxin is indigenously developed vaccine and as well as indigenously produced vaccine. So it is mainly developed by Bharat Biotech, you all know, right? And if you see, this is an inactivated vaccine. So inactivated vaccine means we are taking entire virus particles. So this is our coronavirus. Let us take this as a coronavirus. And what happened? We are mainly inactivating it. That means we are mainly killing this virus by using for some chemicals or by using increased temperature, so and so. So after the death of this virus, entire particle it is taken in our vaccine, such that we are not only taking this spike protein, right, we are taking entire body of this virus, such that we can see there will be high efficiency for this Covaxin. So inactivated vaccine means we are taking directly that disease causing pathogen and we are mainly inactivating it, that is mainly killing. Or if you are taking live microorganism, we are taking a very small concentration such that it will not cause disease. And this destroys the ability of pathogen to replicate but keeps it intact to our immune system. Our immune system will still recognize this virus, and in response to this, our immune system will produce immunity, like antibodies will be produced. So these are some important things that you need to remember regarding this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. It is India made spray. India made spray linked to rare illness in US. So you have to remember what is the name of that disease, that is melioidosis. So melioidosis, it is a rare disease which mainly caused due to this bacteria which is contaminated in this India made spray. So if you see context, it mainly says that a made in India aromatherapy spray, it is mainly used as a room freshener actually. So a made in India aromatherapy spray is being pulled off retail giant Walmart shelves. So in Walmart, okay, Walmart, it is one important, like we can say, it will provide goods actually for people, okay. So it is like a shopping mall like that. So this Walmart, and we can say like how it is DMart here, we have Walmarts in US. So in US, so it is mainly having this aromatherapy spray which is mainly made in India, and they mainly found that due to this aromatherapy spray, it is mainly linked to one rare disease. So name of this disease is melioidosis. So because of this melioidosis, there are mainly 4 people affected, and out of this 2 already died. So if you are talking about details, it mainly says that the spray was reported to contain a bacteria. So name of that bacterium is Burkholderia pseudomyeli. So this is the bacteria which is mainly present in that spray. So this is responsible for causing rare but deadly disease. It is called as melioidosis. So this is a thing which mainly said by US Center for Disease Control and Prevention. So name of that spray is Better Homes and Gardens Lavender and Chamomile Essential Oil. Okay, so here due to this oil that led to this rare disease, that is melioidosis. So the contaminated spray was sold in 55 Walmart stores from February to October 2021 this year. So here because of this medical evidence, then what happened? Retailers, so Walmart stores mainly pulled off this remaining bottles and related products from its shelves in all the stores. So if you see this image, you can understand about this melioidosis. So this melioidosis is mainly caused by this bacteria. So name here is Burkholderia pseudomallei bacteria. It is a gram-negative bacteria. So if you have completed your reading science from basic NCERTs, you will come across this gram-positive and as well as gram-negative bacteria. So this mainly belongs to this gram-negative bacteria, and this disease mainly seen in mostly Southeast Asia and as well as even in other tropical areas. We can see there is spreading of this disease. And some important signs and symptoms of this disease include pain, fever, abscesses, cough, and as well as chest pain. Okay, so these are some important histopathological evidences regarding this melioidosis. So if you're talking about some facts regarding this melioidosis, it is also called as Whitmore's disease. So you can get a statement like Whitmore disease, which is seen recently in news. It is regarding. Okay, so melioidosis, it is also called as Whitmore disease, and this disease mainly it is an infectious disease that can infect humans or animals. So this can affect humans or animals. So the disease mainly caused by the bacterium that is Burkholderia pseudomallei. Okay, so this disease mainly caused by bacterium that is Burkholderia pseudomallei. So it is predominantly a disease of tropical climates. It is predominantly a disease of tropical climates, especially in Southeast Asia and as well as Northern Australia. Okay, they are mainly widespread in these areas. So if we are talking about signs and symptoms of the melioidosis, so cough with normal symptoms. For example, it is mainly mixed with saliva, mucus, that will give rise to throat infection from coughing, etc. And next one is chest pain during breathing and high fever, and sometimes we can see skin lesions and as well as skin infection and even weight loss. So these are some important symptoms of this melioidosis. So now let us try to see next article. Title says Russia, China hold first joint patrol in Western Pacific Ocean. So in Western Pacific Ocean, Russia and China, they hold first joint patrol. So now let us try to talk about this topic. Here you need to focus on this Tsugaru Strait. Okay, so you have to remember on this Tsugaru Strait. So if you see here, context mainly says that Russian and Chinese warships, they held their first joint patrols in western parts of Pacific Ocean. So in western parts of Pacific Ocean, Russia and China warships, they held their first joint patrols. So if you see some details, it mainly says that Moscow and Beijing, which staggered naval cooperation drills in Japan, Sea of Japan. So both Russia and China, they came up with some cooperation drills in Sea of Japan, and these maneuvers are mainly closely watched by Japan. And here this Russia and China also sailed through this Tsugaru Strait. So this Tsugaru Strait mainly separates Japan's main island and its northern island of Hokkaido and Honshu. Okay, so here we have this Tsugaru Strait. So here we have Sea of Japan, and here we have Pacific Ocean. So here we have Matsu Bay. So these are some important things that you need to remember. Okay, so the group of ships mainly passed through this Tsugaru Strait for the first time as part of patrol. So this is a thing which mainly said by Russian Defense Ministry. And the task of patrols, they were demonstration of Russian and Chinese state flags, and even they focused on maintaining of peace and stability in Asia Pacific region, and as well as guardianship of subjects of maritime economic activities of these two countries. So these are some important facts. Okay, so now let us try to see next topic. Title says Riyadh targets zero emissions by 2060. So you all know Riyadh, which is capital of Saudi Arabia, right? So this article, it is regarding Saudi Arabia. So first, your homework is, please open your atlas and try to see where is this Saudi Arabia is present and where is this Riyadh is present, and which are the countries that are sharing boundary with Saudi Arabia. So everything you need to remember for sure. So now let us try to see context. Actually, this article will be important regarding GS paper 3 under our environment and ecology. If you see context, it mainly says that one of the world's largest oil producers. So one of the largest oil producers, that is Saudi Arabia, which announced on Saturday, which aims that to reach net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2060. So by 2060, they are going to reach this net zero greenhouse emissions. And Saudi Arabia also joined more than 100 countries in the global efforts made to try and to curb to man-made climate change. So because of this global warming, I can say this global warming is because of man-made, right? So because of high amount of releasing of greenhouse gases and high amount of release of carbon dioxide emissions, that led to mainly our global warming. So because of this global warming, this also led to climate change. So if you see context, it mainly says that one of the world's largest oil producers, that is Saudi Arabia, announced that it aims to reach net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2060. So this is the one good thing I can say, and it is one of the appreciable step as well. And if you see details, it mainly says that although Saudi Arabia will aim to reduce emissions within its own borders, there is no indication that it will slow down investments in oil and gas. So if you're talking about this topic, it mainly says that Saudi Arabia, which is mainly aiming to reduce emissions, okay, reduce emissions. And one more thing you need to remember here is it is saying that it is going to reduce emissions within its own borders, but it didn't say about a slowdown of investments in oil and gas. So because of this crude oil, what happened? There is increasing of emissions, but it didn't give any statements or indications regarding this investments in oil and as well as gas. So this is one cause of concern I can say. So now let us try to talk about what is this net zero emissions. So if you are talking about net zero emissions, it is nothing but balance. Balance between what? Balance between greenhouse gas emissions that is produced and greenhouse gas emissions absorbed. Okay, so GHG, greenhouse gas emissions produced, is equal to greenhouse gas absorbed. Then this is called as net zero emissions. So what is the need of this net zero emissions? Here need is climate pledges by government that till date, even if fully achieved, would fall well short of what is required to bring global energy related carbon dioxide emissions. So whenever we are coming up with this net zero emissions or net zero targets, then countries, they will try somewhat mainly to decrease this carbon dioxide emissions and greenhouse gas emissions. So because of this, that can help to attain our goal, that is our Paris climate deal goal, to decrease or to limit global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees centigrade. Okay, so this is about this net zero emissions, and you have to refer more about this Paris climate deal here. So this is your homework. And now let us try to see next topic. It is about impact of asteroids and comets. So in geography, you might have studied about this asteroids and comets. So in your NCERT books, in your basic NCERT books, so there are different topics which mainly covering regarding this asteroids and comets. I hope you have studied those basics, right? So if you're talking about what is the impact of asteroids and comets, so now let us try to draw our solar system. Here we have our sun, right? So this is our sun. So here we have our planets, right? So this is, for example, our Mercury, this is our Venus, this is our Earth, and this is Mars. After Mars, we will be having what? That is our asteroid belt that we have. After Mars, we will be having our asteroid belt. So after this asteroid belt, again we will be having planets, but these are big in size. We have Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn. So these are planets which are present beyond our asteroid belt. So this is our asteroid belt. So like different planets which are revolving around the sun, so these asteroids will be also revolving around sun. But sometimes this asteroid mainly will be having some effects. So we can see like asteroids mainly come together in news So if you're following news, you can see that asteroid which is coming very much close to our earth, and it might hit earth on that so and so day. So you will be getting this type of news. So this news which is related to this article actually. So now let us try to discuss this topic. So if you say between 2.5 and 4 billion years ago, so between 2.5 and 4 billion years ago, it was not uncommon for asteroids, for comets to hit the earth. So what happened, asteroids and comets, they are mainly hitting earth. It is not now actually, but since 2.5 and 4 billion ago onwards, so there is hitting of asteroids, comets that is seen. Okay. So in fact, the largest one that mainly hit our earth is about 9 kilometers wide. So whenever this 9 kilometers wide asteroid which came and hit our earth, that led to changes in our chemistry of our planet. Okay. So because of hitting of this 9 kilometers wide asteroid, that altered our chemistry of the planet in our earliest atmosphere. So now a study mainly says that US researchers analyzed remnants of ancient asteroids and they came up with some models. Okay, so these models mainly studied about effects of their collision, and finally they came up with one conclusion, right? So whenever asteroids are hitting our earth, that means asteroid strike is happening, then whatever the oxygen that is present, that will be succumbed. So here research mainly says that US researchers, they analyzed remnants of ancient asteroids, and as well as they came up with the effects of their collisions, and finally this study mainly shows that strikes took place more often than previously thought. So whatever the previously we thought that this asteroid they will come and they will hit very like it will take some time, but now this study says that they will having oftenly. So these asteroids mainly hitting our earth, that is more oftenly. So these strikes, they have delayed the oxygen started accumulating on earth. So because of this asteroid strike which happened, okay, which happened 2.5 and 4 billion years ago, so because of this asteroid strike, that led to delaying of oxygen accumulation on earth. So this is the first important thing which mainly found by this study. And the new models that can help our scientists to understand more precisely when the planet started its path toward becoming the earth we know today. So these models mainly helped scientists, okay. So this model mainly helped the scientists to understand more precisely when the planet, okay, when the planet started its path forward becoming earth. So researchers mainly found that whenever there is bombardment is happening, so these asteroids are coming and hitting our earth, then that led to mainly whatever the oxygen that is present, that is mainly succumbed. So if you see, researchers mainly model that all these impacts would have influenced the atmosphere. So whenever if we have earth here, so whenever asteroids are coming and hitting, okay, so because of this it mainly influences the whatever the atmosphere that is present around our earth's surface. So they essentially found that they will be having some accumulated efforts on meteorite impacts. So whenever this 9 kilometers asteroid which mainly hit our earth, so this asteroid mainly created oxygen sink. So because of this oxygen sink which mainly absorbed oxygen from the atmosphere of air. So this is a thing which mainly founded by this study. So now let us try to understand some important facts regarding what are these asteroids and what are these comets. Especially this will be helpful for beginners who didn't completed their NCERT still now. So if we are talking about asteroids, they are nothing but they are the rocky substances, and they are made up of some metals, and as well they are made up of some rocks, and also they will contain some organic compounds, and they will be moving around sun how our planets are moving around the sun. So asteroids, they have very shorter and elliptical orbits. So if you are talking about comets, they are also orbiting sun, but they are very much relatively very small bodies in our solar system, and they mainly contains ice. Okay, ice, it is a primary thing. So whenever these comets are mainly moving towards sun, so because of our sun's heat, so this ice mainly melt, and other materials or other gas which are present, that will be leading to vaporization because of heavy heat of the sun. So these are some important things that you need to remember regarding asteroids and comets. And now let us try to see next topic. It is about warming lakes. So this is about again global warming. So this article will be important regarding environment and ecology, which comes under GS paper 3. And now let us try to see context. If you see context, it mainly says that study of 40 lakes. Study of 40 lakes in North America. Study of 40 lakes in North America and about 18 lakes in Europe. 18 lakes in Europe and 40 lakes in North America and also 2 lakes in Asia. So researchers mainly studied 40 lakes in North America, 18 lakes in Europe and 2 lakes in Asia, in especially northern hemisphere, right? So in northern hemisphere they saw that there is warming. Warming is happening 6 times more when we are comparing with 1992 to 2016, and now we are seeing there is improving or increasing of global warming, which is 6 times faster. So because of this global warming, there is warming of lakes that is happening 6 times faster. So if you see, on average, lakes are losing 17 days of ice cover per century. So because of warming, so lakes are losing 17 days of ice cover. So this is gist of this topic, and you have to give your suggestions regarding how to combat this climate change in comment box. And now let us try to see next topic is about the ape tail. So this article mainly talking about behavior of apes. So if you're talking about context, it mainly says that human activity has stronger influence on abundance of apes and than ecological factors. So if you're talking about location where these apes are present, so if you're comparing with ecological factors and as well as human influence, so human influence or human activities is having a greater influence on these apes. So this according to study which mainly published by American Journal of Primatology. So this study mainly says that even if there is any suitable habitat or suitable climate that is present, for example rainforest, tropical rainforest, and if these forests or if these suitable areas which are located very much near to human settlements, apes they are not founded there. So the study mainly says that only 10.7% of apes they were founded in highly protected areas. So if there is any human influence that is seen or human settlements, they are not going to stay there. So this is one interesting article. And now let us try to see next topic. It is about guide to hot Jupiters. So this article mainly talking about Jupiter. So now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. So if we are talking about why this Jupiter is in news, because hot Jupiters, they are gaseous planets. As we know, they are Jovian planet and they are sun-like planet. So if you are comparing with this terrestrial planets and these Jovian planets are very, very large in size, and even there is no impact on atmosphere of this Jovian planet because of the sun winds or solar flares. So this is the one important thing that you need to remember. So if we are talking about details, it mainly says that a paper mainly published in Nature Astronomy that mainly said that field guide to hot Jupiters and also offer insights into planet formation. So whenever there is any field guide that is present, then it will be very much helpful for this to knowing about this planet formation. So researchers mainly used observations from especially Hubble Space Telescope, and they mainly allowed them to study emission spectra of 19 such planets. Okay, so due to this Hubble Space Telescope, now they are allowed to study about emission spectra of 19 such planets. So this is about this topic, and now let us try to see some facts regarding Jupiter and as well as this Hubble Space Telescope. So if you are talking about this Hubble Space Telescope, it is one of large telescope in space. Okay, and NASA mainly launched this Hubble in year 1990. And here this telescope mainly was built by US Space Agency, that is NASA, and with some contributions from this European Space Agency. And if you are talking about some important facts, Hubble, it is the only telescope designed to be serviced in space by astronaut. So Hubble, it is the only telescope which mainly is designed to be serviced in space by astronauts and expand the frontiers of visible universe. So the Hubble Space Telescope mainly looks deep into space with cameras, right? And next one is Hubble Space Telescope mainly makes one orbit around Earth every 95 minutes. So for every 95 minutes, here this telescope which mainly makes one orbit around our Earth. So these are some important facts that you need to remember. And now let us try to see some facts regarding this Jupiter. So as we all know, Jupiter, it is a fifth line, okay, fifth planet which is present, right, to in line. So here we have Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, and here asteroid belt, and here we have this Jupiter. Jupiter, it is mainly fifth in line from the Sun. So if you're talking about Jupiter, it is one of the largest planet in our solar system, and it has more than twice as massive as other planets. So if you're talking about other Jovian planets or gas planets, we know they are Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune and Uranus. So these are 4 other planets. And these planets, they have thick atmosphere. Mostly they are made up of helium and as well as hydrogen. So as I said earlier, so because of this solar winds or solar flares, so there will be no effect on impact of this atmosphere. But because of this solar winds and solar flares, so the planets which are present very much near to this sun, so they will be having some impact or loss of this atmosphere, but this is not the case in these Jovian planets. And Jupiter has more than 75 moons. We don't know exactly how many numbers there. So still researches are going on. And this one is the planet Jupiter, four largest moon called as Galilean satellites, Italian astronomer Galileo Galilei. So mainly they first identified and observed them in year 1610. So if we're talking about large important 4 moons of this Jupiter, they include Europa, Ganymede, Callisto. They are some important and distinct I can say like they are distinct large moons of this Jupiter. So this is a gist of this topic, and I hope it is very much clear. Now let us try to see next topic. Title says more studies show superiority of hybrid immunity. So here we need to focus on this word, that is hybrid immunity. So actually there are many studies which are given here, so it is not at all relevant from UPSC. So here you need to understand what is this hybrid immunity, that's it. So if you see this infographic which is given, so it gave a most important information here. So first one is, what is this hybrid immunity? Hybrid immunity mainly refers to combination of natural immunity and as well as immunity which we get by taking one single dose of vaccination. So it is about our hybrid immunity, and this article mainly says that several studies now shows that hybrid immunity which mainly provides greater protection than natural infection, okay, than natural infection, or if you are getting immunity by this complete dose, that is 2 doses of vaccination. So even though if you are comparing with natural immunity and immunity that you are getting from taking this vaccination, so if you are comparing with this this hybrid immunity which is more stronger. And this one is fully vaccinated people without prior infection showed that there is a steeper decline in neutral antibodies. So if you are not getting any infection but you took vaccination means, so for this people there is steeper decline of antibodies that is seen. And a study which mainly published in Science observed that boosting of pre-existing immunity from prior infection with vaccination, which is mainly resulted in transient benefits. So if you are getting infection once and if you are taking vaccination means you will be having more efficiency if you take this vaccine. And immunological advantage, it is mainly saying that from hybrid immunity which mainly arises mostly from memory B cells. So if you are taking vaccines after you got infection, for example 1 dose of vaccine, that is called as hybrid immunity. So through this hybrid immunity you will be getting from memory B cells, okay, which is a long lasting. And next one is the bulk of antibodies after infection or after vaccination, which mainly declines after a short while. But these memory B cells, they get triggered on subsequent infections or vaccination. So this will be a long lasting vaccination, that is very much important. This is called as hybrid immunity. So if you see here, recently one study mainly said that combination, okay, combo pack, right? So combination of our natural infection along with this vaccine, only one dose of vaccine, that will have greater efficiency. So if you see details, people without proper prior infection but they are taking fully vaccination of 2 doses, for example Pfizer or AstraZeneca vaccine, they showed there is declining of neutralizing antibodies over a period that is about 3 to 7 months. So here, because of this, we need to go for hybrid immunity. This will be having better and long lasting efficiency because they will activate our memory B cells. And next and last topic of the day, it is about booster dose. So decision on booster dose must be evidence based. So this article mainly talking some important criteria, okay, for deciding booster dose. We are going to see that. So before that, what is a booster dose? After taking 2 doses of this vaccination, and we are giving 1 dose as a booster dose, right? So this is the booster dose. So if you are talking about this booster dose, it will be important from our GS paper 3 under Science and Technology. So if you see context, it mainly says that SARS coronavirus 2 vaccination program in India, which began in around 16th January. So from this 16th January, it is about 8 months, right? So it has been close to 8 months since the time individuals who were vaccinated, and whenever we came up with this vaccination drive, we came up with priority vaccination. So in that priority basis, we came up with 4 groups like healthcare workers, frontline workers, and as well as old people who had more than 45 years and less than 45 years, plus they are having some comorbidities like diabetes mellitus, hypertension, etc. So for this healthcare workers and this frontline workers, they got 2 doses of vaccination, right? So your healthcare workers and as well as other frontline workers, they mainly came up with this 2 doses of vaccination, and in some states like US and as well as UK, Israel, they also came up with this giving of booster dose for those people. So if you're talking about criteria, so when we are going for deciding whether we need to give this booster dose or not, we need to go for 3 important criteria. So first one is, we need to be very much clear that immunity which mainly offered by this vaccine wanes with time. That means after taking this 2 doses of vaccine, so we will be getting automatically antibodies, and whenever these antibodies are disintegrating or not, that means there is decreasing of our immunal power or not. So we need to take that into consideration. If yes, we can go for this booster dose. And next one is, for a disease that runs a mild course in majority of individuals, it should be evident that lowered efficacy of vaccines. Okay, so whenever there is lower efficacy of vaccines that is seen, so in this case we can go for giving of this booster dose. And next and the last important one is, we need to prove that administration of this booster dose which mainly reduces a probability of severe disease, and this booster dose mainly saves lives, and as well as it will reduce the burden on healthcare. So in these 3 criteria, we need to be followed to give this booster dose. Why? Because if you see here, if you're talking about vaccinations, so we are having less number of vaccines and there are much more people they need to be vaccinated. But if some countries like Israel and as well as USA, whenever they are going for giving this booster dose, means we can say vaccine inequity. To eliminate that, we need to take this criteria into consideration. So if you see here details which mainly says that studies from Israel and as well as US, they suggested that the incidence of breakthrough infections and increased progressively with the passage of time from second dose of mRNA vaccines. So if you see this studies which mainly says that whenever we are going for this second dose of this mRNA vaccine, there is also increase in the infections, and as well as what happens, so there is decreasing of antibodies that is happening towards by time. So because of this, booster dose will be very much helpful. So this is the thing which mainly said. And one question which mainly posed here is regarding, so will addition of a booster protect such against such baked infections or including those which are severe? So there is one question that whenever we are taking this booster dose, whether it will protect against infections including which are severe infections or not. So this is a question. So if you are talking about mainly some studies done by Israel, so it mainly said that, so they are mainly suggesting that the booster dose, they are very much protective and it will give immunity for next 5 months, okay, at least 5 months after taking these 2 initial doses of vaccine. So data from even co-boost trial which mainly suggested that mRNA vaccine resulted in stronger booster effect. And now there is a biggest argument which is happening across the world here is vaccine equity. So in some developed countries already they gave 2 doses of vaccine, they are going for giving of this booster dose. And what is the condition in this developing and as well as underdeveloped countries? For example, Africa, they didn't get even at least 10% of people, they are not got this first dose of vaccination. So this is the one important thing that we need to think about. So this is the thing which mainly said in this topic. And this is the gist of this topic, and I hope it is very much clear. So by this I am concluding today. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to like, share and comment my videos. And don't forget to share my videos to your friends. Thank you so much.